Good evening. My name is Keisha Warren, and I'm giving a presentation on economics and technology. The income or wealth produced by advancement in technology has not benefited everyone. As a matter of fact, in 2009, the world's top 1% held 44% of the world's wealth. It is estimated by 2020 that the 1% will own 54% of global wealth. Low-skilled jobs were the first ones replaced by automation. The reality is that more and more jobs will become computerized as technology is expanded. A 2013 study from Oxford University predicts that up to 47% of U.S. jobs will be computerized in the next 10 to 20 years. There has already been a rise in sites like WebMD, LegalZoom, and E-Trade. Economics believe that professionals are at risk too. Doctors, lawyers, and financial middlemen are all under threat as technology advances. This leads to the question, if white-collar jobs are at risk, are there any jobs that are safe? The safest jobs are the jobs where empathy is needed, such as in child care worker, taking care of babies, and nurses providing empathy to their patients. There may even come a time when nurses is preferred over doctors. Venture capital firms have spent $11 billion developing supercomputers for use in healthcare. This is reported as a 30% jump over the previous year. These supercomputers can handle mega amounts of data in seconds. They are used to come up to treat patients, to diagnose diseases. Supercomputers are used to assist in research. Scientists also use supercomputers to better understand our genetic makeup. A good example of the progress we have made in healthcare as it relates to technology is the cost of a full human genome sequence. In 2002, a full human genome sequence cost about $100 million. Today, it will run around $1,000. In 2020, it is predicted to cost around the cost of a cup of coffee. Actually, this test may become routine, where everyone is screened as a preventive measure or part of a therapeutic care to see what type of diseases or cancers may be inherent in our genes. This is surely one up for technology in healthcare that we can all agree on. The World Economic Forum released its 2016 annual report. Climate change was the number one issue. The World Bank estimates that changes in the climate could force 100 million people into poverty by 2020. The shale revolution, a technological revolution and advancement, may lower oil prices, but there is much debate on whether it is good or bad or a necessary evil for the environment. The shale revolution is a technological advance that allowed the U.S. to reduce its need to import oil from overseas. There has been many reserves of shale found in the U.S. The increase in the supply of oil in the U.S. has exceeded the demand for oil abroad. An increase in technology has boosted cybercrime and identity theft to the cost of $444 billion each and every year. That is 1% of the global income. Advances in technology has changed the way we go to war. 10 years ago, the U.S. had 50 drones. Today, there are about 7,000 drones used to counter terrorism and other disasters from happening. Although the price tag is hefty for drones, They are a necessity when you take into consideration the cost of sending soldiers overseas to attack foreign enemies. The cost and especially the lives that are lost. There is no comparison. Sending drones is a better option. Entrepreneurship is critical for economic development. If we look at the economics of developing nations, we can clearly see where there is a lack of technological advancement, the economics and the people suffer. In countries like Nigeria, Egypt, and Indonesia, micro entrepreneurs generate about 30% of the gross domestic product. In order for businesses and entrepreneurship to last, to thrive, technological advances must be made. In emerging nations, wireless technology and infrastructure are scarce. The economics of the region suffer due to the inability to communicate. In sub-Saharan Africa, for example, barely a quarter of the population has access to electricity. There are less than 3 landlines available per 100 people. Advances in technology are good in general. We can clearly see the effects of being a nation advancing in the area of technology. Technology has improved healthcare. It is much easier to diagnose and treat patients. Patients can access their health records electronically and converse with doctors and lawyers virtually online. Technological advances in fracturing have made us less dependent on the importation of foreign oil. The U.S. can keep its money home. This gives the U.S. power and increases its dollar and economy. Also, the U.S. doesn't have to protect foreign oil and the wars that come with it. The new data shows that the U.S. is now a leading oil and natural gas producer. Advances in technology have also helped our economy in the creation of new products and or increasing the quality and efficiency of existing products. Consumers love new products and will buy items of quality that make sense. Production, supply, and demand have increased as more consumers buy into these new advances. Advances in technology have also played a bad role in our economy. More and more people are losing their jobs as companies turn to automation. This is especially real for low-skilled workers. Doctors, lawyers, and middlemen, financial experts are at risk due to advances in online sites like WebMD, LegalZoom, and eTrade. Consumers can go right to these sites and get the help and expertise and or information they need. It is not completely known what the effects of fracturing are on the climate. Many authorities disagree on whether the new production process is hurting the climate or not. More data is needed, but flights over the U.S. shale fields reveal large methane sources. Methane is emitted from natural gas in the process of fracking. Therefore, fracking, the use of natural gas, is only beneficial if its effects on the climate is less than the use of coal's effects on the climate. This chart shows the total demand and supply at work and labor markets. The two graphs show how new technology influences supply and demand. Technology changes can act as either substitutes for or complements to labor. When technology acts as a substitute, it replaces the need for the number of workers an employer may hire. As technology advances, an increase in demand for skilled workers who know how to use technology to enhance workplace productivity will increase. Those workers who do not adapt to changes in technology will experience a decrease in demand. This concludes my lecture on technology and economics. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.